Hello there everybody and welcome to this, another edition of a late night screen review. This time we're looking at The Blackening.
Stop playing!
Wait, hold up. I know I left this door open.
See the horror film. Preview audiences are calling a killer experience.
The Blackening. No, thank you.
Probably runs on racism.
Pick a card. Or you die.
In your predicament, the black character is always the first to die. I will spare your lives if you sacrifice the person you deem the blackest.
Guys, I can prove I'm not the blackest.
Prove it.
I thought black Twitter was a type of seasoning. I like Jimmy Fallon without the roots.
Wrong.
I voted for Trump.
What?
Twice.
Your time is up. It's time to die.
So this was an interesting one for me. I actually had no idea about this movie. It just kind of popped up on my news feed the other day, and I watched the trailer. Then I discovered that in my local Cineplex they were doing an advanced screening, so I just went to see that tonight, and I was pleasantly surprised. So the official release date is the 25th of August for this movie. The director is a person called Tim Story, and it's going to be released in all major theatres on the 25th. So yeah, keep a lookout. So, what is this film about? Well, the story tells of 7 friends that are reconnecting after years apart. They're getting together to celebrate the old college days. They go away to a secluded cabin. That might be a mistake. What happens then is there's a mass killer on the loose and he's out for revenge. Why, you ask? Well, that would be telling. So, what did I think of this film? Well, I tell you, I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't really know what to expect from this movie. I knew it was a kind of satirical look at sort of serial killer films from like an African-American perspective, the majority of the cast being African-American, but I didn't know kind of what the comedy was going to be like. Was it going to be more kind of slapstick or kind of outrageous, crazy, gore, silly, gross out humour, which I do like. But for me, this was actually a lot more clever. It was a really well-written story. The characters all had their own kind of like unique little kind of backstories. The friendships were really good. The camaraderie, the on-screen kind of chemistry really worked between all the main characters. It was cleverly written. There were silly jokes, but there were also a lot of kind of more satirical, obviously looking at sort of social issues and various other bits and pieces kind of woven in the story, but done very well and very subtly, which I enjoyed a lot. There were references to other horror movies, of course. There was even a really nice reference to Sister Act 2. So, yeah, I respect that a lot. But as well as all that, it was just, like I say, it was a really fun slasher horror comedy movie. And again, when these films come out and they kind of come out of nowhere, it's a really pleasant surprise for me. A couple of key mentions for the actors are Annette Robinson, Gracie Byers, she was awesome as well. As I say, it was just a great fun story. There's nothing unique here in terms of plot. It's a serial killer, it's a mass killer in a cabin in the middle of nowhere. There's red herrings abound. There's some jump scares, but it was actually a really well constructed movie. It's all centered around a board game, which I also found quite good. It's kind of a sort of, I guess, a little nod and wink to Saw. Let's play a game. But the board game itself was actually a really good way of kind of ramping up the tension because it involves a kind of timer and answering questions. A bit like a more kind of horror version of a Trivial Pursuit, which I really enjoyed. The reveal of the final bad guy was kind of unique, interesting, fun, well earned. It wasn't a kind of oh really. It actually made a lot of sense. So like I say, really well written script, really clever. Like I say, the performances were brilliant. I think pacing was great. I think some of the humour kind of lost its way here and there. So the humour wasn't really as balanced as it could be. So like I say, sometimes there were really cleverly well-written, subtle jokes, and other times there were kind of just outrageous sprinklings of silly things. But for the most part, it kept it on really tight rails. This is a high recommend from me. I think if you are unsure about this movie or if you've not seen the trailer, please do so. And I think go watch the movie. I think it's when these films come out and they're kind of special and they're unexpected, and again, it's a good horror comedy, you need to grab these by the horns and go and see these movies. It's a great excuse to go out with a friend or a loved one, get a bucket of popcorn and just have a good time. This film is a blast, and I highly recommend it from me. So that's it for this late night Scream review. Go out there and get that at the end of the month. So it comes out on the 25th of August. You will thank me later, I promise. But until next time, guys, stay safe, stay scared, and we'll see you soon. Bye.